Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for this Sunday, September 11th. Looking at our impact map for today, we have a couple of things going on. We'll start in the north. Very hot, near record heat, high Haines indices, critically dry, near record level fuels, along with ongoing large and emerging fires. So in this area in red, basically encompassing most of the Payette and the Salmon Chalice National Forest and a little bit of the northern Sawtooth and Boise as well. We are watching for that as a high-risk event. At the same time, further south across the southern third of the geographic area, a lot of subtropical to tropical moisture starting to push up with widespread showers and some wetting rains. We see the greens and a mix of wet and dry showers, or lightning, I should say, on the western and northern periphery, where we could see some lightning, maybe some new starts, but the humidity and moisture rapidly moves northwards over those same areas on Monday. See the areas in green, widespread showers, covering much of that area. And then on Tuesday, the real strong northward and eastward surge of that moisture covering just about the entire geographic area. So things are rapidly expected to change. Looking at our smoke, surface smoke this afternoon on the left, you can see it overspreading much of the northern two-thirds of the Great Basin, and starting to see it change a little bit on Monday as some clouds and moisture and a shift in the winds starts to take effect. We see a similar story with the vertically integrated smoke pushing down into central areas of Utah and Nevada today. Tomorrow, there'll be more of a southerly component starting to push that smoke northwards. Also some higher humidity, which will start to diminish fire activity from southwest to northeast. Looking at lightning yesterday, quite a bit of it across the southern part of the geographic area. You can see the moisture down there as well. So a lot of it was on the wet side with a half-inch to inch rain amounts in parts of the Arizona Strip and pushing on northwards into the central Nevada mountains. New fire starts in the red. Recent or existing fires in the yellow. Open circles indicate large team fires. Still a lot of activity ongoing. Very dry the past 7 days. You can see here on the left, most areas not getting much precipitation, not including yesterday, except for the far south. You can see the percent of normal still bone dry across most of the region. Our 100-hour fuel still incredibly dry, 5% or lower across most of Utah, much of Idaho and into northern Nevada. We'll start seeing that moisture affect those fuels from south to north in the coming days. Satellite imagery. For today, though, strong high pressure returns, light winds, but a return of the heat. So areas in northern, basically all areas north of the I-80 corridor into Idaho and Wyoming should see a 10-degree warm-up back to near record temperatures, very dry humidity under this high, also light winds. We can see that dry air mass better on the water vapor imagery. That tannish shade, that darkish tannish shade shows the driest air mass all through the mid-levels of the atmosphere down to the surface and the deepening moisture across our southern areas. And that's what we see on the map here on the left. By later this afternoon, we see that dry air mass across our northern and eastern areas. We see the moisture pushing up from the south and pushing northwestwards, and lots of moisture in California as well. We could see showers moving up into western Nevada. You see where a lot of our browns turn to yellow. Up here we have high risk for record heat and also high Haines indices, so dry and unstable and hot across most of the forests up in Idaho. See the relative humidities up there, near 10% in a lot of areas. You see how much the humidities are coming up towards 30% in the south. Winds overall fairly light today. These are outflow boundaries from nearby thunderstorms. Now for tomorrow, that moisture really starts to consolidate from the south, overspreading into parts of southwest Idaho by the end of the day. So you see a lot more yellow on the map, still critically dry in Idaho. It's going to take a day or so for that moisture to really seep into some of those heavier fuels. So we'll be watching for some lightning on the outer periphery, lightning high risk across California. You see the humidities all across Nevada rising up into the low 20s. That's typically above what we call the moisture of extinction, where at that point finer fuels really have a tough time supporting fire. But still dry in the teens, more like 15 to 20% across Idaho, where their fuels are record dry. Also across parts of northern and northeastern Utah and into Wyoming, still critically dry. Now for Tuesday, you see that moisture really deepens across the heart of the Great Basin, especially eastern Nevada, all of Utah, just about all of our Idaho zones into western Wyoming. So no more brown on the map. Things are greening and yellowing up really quickly. Look at those humidities into the 30% range for minimum humidities up into the central mountains of Idaho, maybe 20 to 30% across western Wyoming, but that's still a good increase. Otherwise, everyone pretty much getting good recoveries. Some moderate breezes coming in off the northern Sierra front, but again, the humidity is there above the moisture of extinction as well. So 3-day precipitation totals, just about everyone comes into play, especially parts of Nevada. We see the darker green and blue. Those are quarter-inch, half-inch rain amounts. A little bit more spotty. Maybe the Payette, western Idaho, misses the first wave. But on Wednesday, this moisture will linger and interact with this upper-level trough. So we'll see moisture increase through here, and it really enhances late Wednesday into Thursday across the central Idaho mountains where we need it the most. See areas turning green across a lot of the areas. Then we go into Friday. We see the opposite, drier air and hotter air starting to push in from the south, but where they've really would have received a lot of moisture by then. See a deeper trough of low pressure pushing in. And then this trough of low pressure is going to increase winds, but also bring in more moisture to our northern areas. If the humidity starts to come back up, we'll see how this plays out. If it starts bringing more shower activity to our Idaho mountains. 7-day precipitation totals, these are incredible amounts, half-inch to an inch and a half, where you see these bluish shades, especially where we need them in our large fire areas where we have the areas of driest fuels. For a lot of areas in eastern central Nevada and of course Utah, this could pretty much put a fork in the season at this point. Still, we'll have to watch western Idaho. They could dry out a little bit, as well as far western or northwestern Nevada. But the 8 to 14 day does look favorable. Above normal moisture continues in our critical northern areas. We'll be drying out in the south, but cooler than normal most other spots. And this concludes our briefing. Have a great day.